a monthly reporting from the church.
Which is something new to us.
Yes.
When it comes to these caps.
We've not had that before.
Okay, so it would require us to, at minimum, monthly go and do a spot check.
I don't know that it would do that, but we would get those reports monthly, and we would have to assess them and determine how we would handle them. And we've not done that before.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
Madam Mayor, I've got a few. If I could get Mr. Galloway back to the microphone just for a brief series of questions. Mr. Galloway, I've just got some basic general questions that maybe you can answer, or maybe one of your clients might be able to do. It's been talked about this being a regional church that would reach across Atlanta, Metro, as well as Georgia and the Southeast. Is that an accurate statement? Would there be people coming from different locations?
It is and it isn't an accurate statement. This is their main church in Georgia for now. Okay? But in Scientology, you move up levels in terms of your understanding and the coursework you've done, etc. Once you get above a certain level, anybody from the Southeast would go to Clearwater, Florida, which is more their regional area in a higher level church in terms of what they offer. And there are also other areas or other churches that offer a higher level of course study than would ever be offered at this location. And if we ever exceed the need in terms of the number of people, if we ever get to that point, or if the church ever gets to that point, then they would establish mission churches in the surrounding areas that would address the need in terms of space. So this would not is seen as a statewide or potentially even a multi-state location, but there are limitations on that, and anyone that would again go to Clearwater or another higher level church once you reach a certain level.
So you have to move, in essence?
No, you don't. You go there for a period of time to do a course of study.
Okay. You made the statement that that the practice of their religion requires an inordinate, and I'm paraphrasing here, you may not have used exactly these words, so clarify it for me if I am incorrect, that the practice of their religion requires an inordinate amount of space. Can you tell me why that is the case?
I can go through space plan drawings if you want to. I have those here. But in terms of,
I'm just asking about the. You said the practice. What is it about their practice that each individual person needs an inordinate amount of space? That's how I interpreted what you said. Because,
for example, there is a classroom on the second floor. That classroom, people would go to that classroom at the beginning of a course of study. It's more or less a quiet or a study hall type atmosphere. You would then do self-directed study and then proceed to make application of what you just learned in a number of associated classrooms, 4 or 5 in some instances, such as you would go, there's an adjacent room where you might go in with a study buddy and go through an exercise. And another room is a film room. And so you would proceed during that same period of time, you would proceed through as many as 5 additional classrooms. So there has to be 5 seats available for one person in that particular area. In addition, they have a library, they have a bookstore, they have a large viewing area, which is more or less a museum area. They have a daytime staff, they have a nighttime staff, yet they allocate square footage for each of those staffs in each staff member would have their own office, for example. And in addition to that, each staff member also has other areas where they would come together to perform certain tasks.
So is this bookstore open to the public?
It is, but
so it's like a commercial venture, like a retail bookstore?
No, it's like a bookstore that is in my church or in many churches where they
sell books.
Sell books.
So is that not by definition a retail enterprise?
It is.
If you're selling something to the public, isn't it your understanding that that is a retail activity? Or is it a wholesale activity?
It is an associated use with a principal use. So it is an accessory use that is allowed under the code, allowed under your ordinance, and
But I, as a member of the public, could
I
come in
don't
and
think we should be arguing with our.
Madam Mayor, I've just got to see, I'm trying to understand the practice.
Well, try to understand.
Madam Mayor, this is my last one, huh?
Always allowed.
I know, but I got some questions I need to get answered. Please bear with me, okay? I know that you're impatient, but please bear with me.
there are very few churches that don't have a bookstore, that somebody from the public could
Mine
walk
doesn't,
in.
but-
Well, mine does, and a lot of churches in Sandy Springs do.
But in the museum, is it open to the public?
It is, all of the space is highly regulated and secured. You have to pass through security in order to get in.
But it is open to the public.
It is technically open to the public, and they would, people that are interested in the Church of Scientology can come in and go into those areas, just like they can go in every other church in Sandy Springs.
And, okay, that's the issue. It's a public building in essence. Open to anybody who may, I mean, most churches have sort of a y'all come kind of mentality.
The Church of Scientology has an open policy, but they are very strict about their security because of groups in the United States that oppose the Church of Scientology and have done some pretty awful things. They've gone in and destroyed areas. They've made threats. They've made anthrax threats, for example.
So if you lived in that neighborhood, would you be concerned about your security?
No, because of their security.
But that's inside. What about the adjacent areas?
Well, are you going to disallow a church because
I didn't say I was going to disallow anything. I'm just
Because-
asking a question.
I do not believe it is a security threat at all.
Would the city of Sandy Springs, should they take that into consideration, if there are threats to public safety, would that not be something that we should seriously consider?
Well, it's something to be aware of. They've operated in the city of Atlanta, in the metropolitan area, in particular in Dunwoody. They've been in Atlanta since the 70s. They've not had a incident in terms of something that would cause a public problem. But again, just because there are people that disagree with them, that is absolutely no reason to base a decision in zoning.
But as you said, that they have had threats and they have had actions taken that in essence could create public safety issues.
It's all have mosques, it's all have synagogues, and even
I think
Baptist
you
churches.
made your point, Councilman
Okay,
Paul.
well, how do they recruit members?
Same way other churches do.
So, and they are coming here because of growth, right?
Certainly, they would like to grow, and because they are out of room in their current location, they found this location in 2000.